Yeah. Children laughing. Anyway, hello everybody. Apologies for the extended break, but you know how I be. Yes, this is a Nintendo product, and today we are starting a Let's Play of Diddy Kong Racing. Oh, I'm sorry. Not that. Diddy Kong Racing! There we go, that's how you say it. Anyway, here's our roll call of characters. We got Timber the Tiger, Bumper the Panda, I think, or the Badger, Conker the Squirrel. Bumper's a badger, not a panda. I'm dumb. Tipped Up the Turtle. Drumstick the Rooster. Pipsy the Mouse. Banjo the Bear. And Crunch the Crocodile. And also, this asshole who goes by the name of Wizpig. He will be our bad guy for the game. Yes, him. And of course Diddy. Who could forget Diddy? Anyway, here they are on the title screen. Well, the player select screen, which yes, comes up before literally anything else, for reasons that I will get into momentarily. But if you hover over the different characters, they will actually play a little... the main theme will play differently. Such as a standard in most rarer titles of the time, before and after. But anyway, so... Once again, Crunch.
I'm Diddy.
Diddy.
My name's Bumper.
Bumper.
I'm
Banjo. Timber. Pipsy, which I select twice because I'm like, is it Tipsy or Pipsy? It's Pipsy. Tip Top.
Hey, it's Tip Top.
And of course, Conker. Now, for the majority of this playthrough, I will be playing as Diddy.
I'm Diddy.
With the exception of the trophy races, in which case I'm switching to Banjo. Because as the time of recording this, yes, this was, well, the footage for the most part was recorded before, you know, that very certain thing happened that I will address properly when the banjo-kazooie LP gets around. Yes, I'm doing that one right after this one because I'm in that mood. But yeah, Banjo got announced for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so, I'm kind of putting him in the spotlight and using this as an excuse to start playing the banjo-kazooie games. The franchise is 20 years old after all, so, might as well, right? Yee! Anyway, I don't have the manual with me, so I'm going to remember the story. I think it's something along the lines of Wizpig is an asshole and he's terrorizing the island. Stop him. That's basically the gist of it. I don't think it gets any more detailed than that. I mean, really, what else do you need? Evil Space Pig wants to ruin your day? Stop him. Simple as that. And to introduce us to our lovely little adventure is this character. Well, let's just say that this was a different time, and we must all take it as is, what it is, how it be. It's technically worse in the DS version because they give him a tent and he has a magical crystal ball that makes courses, and it's really weird, but anyway, yes. This is Taj the elephant, and he's going to be our guide for the journey. By which I mean he's just gonna walk around, and if you honk at him, he can change your vehicle. That's pretty much all he really does. Oh, he also gives you the balloon for doing good. Why doesn't he just give me the balloons? I don't know, but anyway.
Hello, friend.
Yeah, so we can change our vehicle to explore the world, of which this will be useful only like once or twice. Except when we're forced to do the races. Anyway, I'm about to do something stupid here. I'm gonna run over frogs. Why? I'm trying to unlock a character. The only problem is that opportunity hasn't arisen yet. I jumped the gun way too early, so, yeah, we're gonna run over frogs for a bit. Don't worry, I eventually cut. By which I mean I cut it about, 15 seconds, so don't worry. But anyway, yes, I try to run over frogs for a very long time, and I basically get nowhere with it because it's not that time to do so. you're not supposed to run over the frogs now. There's a frog, a very specific frog you run over later. And, well, you know, you get that. I don't remember how I got that balloon. Did I show how I got that balloon? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Can we show that balloon? There. That's how I got the balloon. Anyway. Yeah, I guess somewhere in the midst of me cutting out the footage, I forgot to include the bit where I got the balloon. But it's there now, so don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. It's not like I want to have this done before the end of the night, so I can have something uploaded on Monday. Yes, it should be going up on Monday. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into a habit of daily recordings. However, due to my current situation and the state of the computer I'm using to record these things, I'm not sure if I can get really anything above N64 until I figure out how to fiddle with this capture card a little bit more. Because, I don't know, the quality seems kind of weird. It could be my computer this laptop not being able to, you know, properly process the video properly, or is something I installed that's screwing it up? I don't know. Either way, yes. So that's a thing. And speaking of capture card funness, occasionally, I may flash up some text on screen, or there may be weird audio, editing. That is because, at least, hopefully not anymore, but that is because, my computer has this odd habit of crashing the audio, and this affects basically anything and everything that is using the audio. Yes, including the capture cards, so this often screws up the audio and just makes it a long, just like a single, you know, when somebody holds in a piano key and it's like a long note? Yeah, it's basically, it does that, but it's annoying and it's loud, and I don't like it. So as a result, I have to edit around it. It's fickle, it's annoying, I dislike it greatly, but I also don't want to record this because you know how I be. Anyway, I'll get into the brace mechanics next time. All you need to know is that A is to accelerate, and the control stick is to move. I'll get into the deeper mechanics later, such as tips and tricks, as to, you know, making this a lot easier of a journey. But for the base races, you don't need to worry about much. Also, this music slaps. That's another thing I should mention. Yes, it slaps. It slaps a lot. Like, a lot. Like, a lot. It's a really good soundtrack. It's a pretty good and bopping soundtrack. Thank you, Taj. See, he's nice. He gives you a balloon. It's so very calm and gently. What a swell fellow. Anyway. Ignore the clock. The clock is not who we need to talk to. Now, we can go in there and redo races, but we don't need to do that. In fact, there's literally no point. So, once you beat a course, you can go back into the course and select, well, only specific vehicles for certain courses, but some courses allow you to select multiple vehicles. Either that or I was pressing I think it was just pressing the wrong button. Anyway, yeah, you can replay a course with any vehicle you want. And all the other races will also be using that vehicle. I don't know what the point to that is, there really isn't one. But it's there, so hooray. Now, advanced mechanics. Those things are zippers. You run over them and you get a burst of speed, simple as that. That's like a, you know, every game has boost pads of some equivalent, right? Yeah, they do. The next thing is holding L or R will allow you to drift. This is not really that intuitive. It's not the most detailed, depth-filled thing. If you want a better look at a drift system in a kart racer, go to CTR, which, by the way, that hasn't come out at the time of recording this, which, well, it won't be by the time of uploading this either. But either way, debating about getting it, because, well, I'm not sure if it's changed since then, but early on, people have seemed to noted that the physics for some of the courses aren't what they used to be by detailing runs through them in the original game versus in Nitro Fueled. So, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. But anyway, Crash Team Racing has a more detailed drift mechanic. In this game, however, it is part 1 of what I like to call hold on. I'm pretty sure there's an actual proper term for this, but I basically like to call them pinpoint turning. If you hold the drift button and then press B at the same time, which is the brake button by the way, what happens is that you will dart almost 90 degrees in the direction you're pointing, which is a lot. It's nauseating to look at, so I apologize, but I'm gonna be doing that a lot, just a heads up. But it allows you to basically, you know, make instant corrections on, you know, turns and stuff. Or you can send yourself craning off into the dunes. One of the two things can happen. So, hopefully don't do that, because that's bad, and you don't want that, trust me. Now, with the way I recorded this, I did not do a practice run. So as a result, most of the time, I'm going to be driving like a fool. Slowly but surely, I get readjusted to the mechanics of the race, and soon enough, I will be exploring the ever-loving crap out of some neat tricks. Most of which I don't really use in this part, I don't think. I'll be able to tell if I do actually use one depending on what I do with the zippers, because one of them involves the zippers, and I refuse to detail the mechanic until I use it on the zippers. No, I don't use it yet. No, I'm not using it. It's really hard to tell you guys about a mechanic that I'm not using before it happens, because then, you know, I get to talk about it in the context of how it's happening, and I'm not using words properly. Basically, it's a lot easier for me to tell you how a mechanic works once it's happened on screen. The long and short of it is, yes, there are some advanced mechanics. Actually, you know what I can talk about is this. Okay, that's right. So you might have noticed that there's a strew of balloons peppered about the tracks. Running over them will give you a variety of power-ups. The red ones give you missiles, of which, well, first of all the items have 3 stacks. If you run over the same balloon multiple times, you get an additional stack and a different variation of the item. The blue balloons give you boosts. Every stacked blue balloon will give you a better boost. The red balloons give you missiles. The first tier gives you a single missile, the second tier gives you a homing missile, and the third tier gives you 10 missiles. Every time you run over a red balloon after that, you will restock your missile count. The green balloons are... well, is the turret a right word? I would like to say, yes, they're like banana peels in Mario Kart if you want an equivalent. The higher you get them, they're... the deadlier and the more nasty the variant is. The first one is an oil slick. You run over it, you spin out for a bit. You don't really lose control though, you regain it rather quickly. The second one is... oh no, we need balloons. The second one of the oil slicks, of the green balloons, is a mine. Run over that and you will completely lose control and your car will flip and bounce about for a bit and you'll probably grind to a halt. The third and the last one is the most annoying one, and that is the bubble. Get caught in that thing, you're stuck. You're like stuck for like a good 5 seconds. And basically, you're gonna lose the race if you get stuck in a bubble. So yeah, maybe don't do that. The rainbow balloons are magnets. If you run over the rainbow balloon, you'll get a higher tier magnet, the higher tier the magnet, along with, I think, the bananas. I swear the bananas have some part in this one in particular. I'm not sure about the other ones, but definitely this one. The rainbow ones, higher tier magnet. The higher the magnet, the farther the distance you can use to attract with the other players. I'm going to correct myself in the next part if I'm wrong about how that works. And finally, the... well, I'm going to call them the gold balloons. Not the... okay, you know what, these are gold balloons. The yellow... yeah, yellow balloons. Let's call them yellow balloons. They are shields. With every stack giving you a longer duration for the shield. Anyway, one of the few times we're going to use the vehicle changing mechanic of the overworld to actually get something. The second, which we won't see until much later. Because there is a gold balloon we need to get before we can access this track. We'll be doing this again near the end of the near the end of the LP. Yes, they kind of like, here, you need to get a balloon in the overworld using a vehicle that is not the normal one. You should please look forward to doing this, like, literally never until near the end of the game. Why do you do this? Why? Okay. If there's one thing that irks me about games is when they bring up a design mechanic that they use very sparingly. Like, it's like, here's this thing where you can use, I don't know, like an item to do a thing, and you will only ever do it twice. In contrast to the rest of the game, which has a very specific design flow. The worst of it is, you know, Donkey Kong 64, but I'm gonna save that until we get to that game, eventually. Very eventually. Anyway, this is one of my favorite songs of the game. It's a bop. For the record, the man who composed this soundtrack is Mr. David Wise, the same man who composed the Donkey Kong Country games and later bits and pieces of ukulele. Really good tracks in ukulele, mind you. Which is, well, you know, I'm not even going to talk about that game. That once again, we'll probably save talk about other games when we get to those games. Which is why I spent like a good 2 minutes talking about Crash Team Racing when I have no idea what I'm doing that. But hey, whatever. Thank you, Taj. And with that, by the way, yes, every level costs balloons, and so they basically want you to do them in a specific order, save for, once again, the one time, or 1 or 2 times, where they cut you out of completing or getting access to a level until you get the 2 overworld balloons. But they're literally only 2 overworld balloons, I swear. Anyway, after you beat every race in the world, you get access to the boss race. Yes, this game has bosses. Voice acting could be better. Anyway, this is Tricky the Triceratops. This is totally the first try. Yep, this is 100% the first try. Okay. I forgot I left the take in. You did not hear anything. Anyway, let me just... yeah. So let me repeat what I said in this take that you didn't hear. Yes. I don't like these bosses. Rather, I don't like the rematches because, yes, you rematch them. And speaking of redoing things, that is kind of a general issue with the adventure mode in this game, is that you do it multiple times. You do things multiple times, and it kind of, well, okay. Been a while since I played Crash Team Racing, it's probably the same there, but I don't know, it just feels really monotonous in this game, how you have to do every course basically 3 times. Save for the last one, when you only have to do everything twice, and if you want to do everything a 3rd time just for the sake of consistency, then, well, you're not going to get much out of it. Anyway, yeah, you do everything like 3 times. I'll get more to that in the next part, but basically, yes, it is as annoying as it sounds. And, Tricky the Dinosaur is a dick. That's basically the end of that. Don't worry, I'll get more into why I really despise Tricky in the next part. Where I have to actually get detailed about how to beat him in the rematches because... all I is about that is, yes. And you can see we got a pretty good lead-in on them. That won't be the case next time, I'll tell you that much. Wow, sparkles!
Well done, kid. Now try my new challenge. Collect all of my silver coins from around the dino domain. You must find 8 from each level and win, and then come back to see me.
That's not really a challenge so much as it is just padding and annoyance. Anyway,
I've got something special.
yeah, there's that mechanic. Anyway, next time we're going to be starting the Silver Coin Challenge, so until then, see you later, and bye! Man, that was rushed.